Speak No Evil is a new thriller that just released this past weekend. It is a remake of the 2022 movie, also called Speak No Evil. That one was Danish. This one is like the American remake. Again, 2-year turnaround for a remake, which is really surprising. You don't really see that often. It stars James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, Scoot McNairy, I'm pretty sure is his name. You know, that dude from BVS in the wheelchair who was complaining that Superman saved people. Yeah, that guy. I like that guy. That guy was pretty fun. The situation is this: a married couple and their daughter are on vacation. They run into another married couple and their kid. They all kick it. They all have a good time with each other. And then the married couple with James McAvoy and his wife and their kid, they invite the other family back to their house and their land for a little bit of a weekend getaway. This weekend getaway turns into, you know, a bunch of really weird, uncomfortable situations. The intensity is ratcheted up, and all of a sudden the family needs to figure out a way to get the fuck out of there. A 2-year turnaround for a remake is really kind of unheard of. I can't think of another example where a movie was remade this quickly. I honestly don't think this movie should be called Speak No Evil. It should be called Uncomfortable the Movie. This is a movie that thrives on creating uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable interactions and dynamics between the characters, uncomfortable mindsets with the people involved that is supposed to make everybody, including the audience, feel that uncomfortability. Uncomfortability might not be an actual word, but for the sake of this video where we make up outlandish shit all the time, we're gonna let it slide here. You guys get what I'm saying. The movie's job is to make you feel uneasy. It's to get under your skin. That's exactly what the movie's able to accomplish. Shout out to the direction, shout out to the visuals, the music. They all kind of add to the atmosphere a little bit here. I don't think this would work nearly as well if it wasn't for the performances here. Scoot McNairy. I have a rant involving his character a little bit later on in the video, but his performance is good. Like, I can't complain. I can't say that he was weak or anything. He was pretty good for what the movie was asking him to do. Mackenzie Davis is solidly consistent as usual. I also want to give a shout out to the kid actors in this movie. I can't remember their names, unfortunately, because I often get scatterbrained when I'm shooting videos, but I thought the kids did a really good job, especially with the non-verbal stuff. Absolutely the star of the show, though, is James McAvoy, and you knew that from watching that trailer that everybody's been watching for like 6 or 7 months. I'm not really sure what the marketing strategy for this movie was. Maybe it was show the same trailer over and over again to the point that it forces people to be curious about it. It could go the other way, though. It could show the trailer so much that it bores people and gets them to not want to watch the movie because they're just sick of seeing the damn trailer. But no matter what you felt about that trailer, you saw James McAvoy in the trailer. You know that James McAvoy is an A+ tier performer. He is incredible. He is so watchable. He is a live wire. Every single scene in the movie, he steals it. He has this weird blend of charisma and charm, while at the same time, he feels like a monster. He feels like a monster that's been let off the leash. As he gets more and more unhinged the longer the movie goes on, you just get more and more attached to his performance. Like, you can't take your eyes away from it. He seems born to play these type of crazy roles where he has to act out of his mind at a certain point. I'm not going to do a lot of comparisons to the one that came out in 2022. What I will say is that this movie, to me at least, had a more exciting third act. There's a lot of suspense that is crafted and built up and ready to unleash in the third act of this movie, and things get kind of haywire. And there's tense situations where you're going to be screaming at the screen, you're going to be rooting for these characters. I think most people are going to watch this movie and they're going to have a decent time with it. While my criticisms, I feel like, are valid in most cases, it's one of those movies where my criticisms don't always necessarily feel like criticisms with the movie. It's just how I felt watching the movie. I can't really describe it any other way, so here we go. I understand that the premise of the movie is basically about people that are a little bit too nice to say no. We've all seen those people in our everyday walks of life. We've all been those people at certain different points where we've been too nice to say no or to reject or walk away from a situation. I also understand that it requires some suspension of disbelief because there wouldn't be a movie otherwise. I get it. I understand all that. Even with the suspension of disbelief, you have to suspend it so many times in this movie that it does take away a little bit from my enjoyment. There are too many leaps in logic, and there are too many things that happen in this movie that just don't feel real. And I understand that it's a movie, so I guess none of it is real, obviously. I wish that there was something that was more explainable about the way that they act and what they do in the movie. They're just like the dumbest people, I think, in the history of movies. Like, I don't understand why they exist. Like, these are hilariously unserious people. Now I'm gonna drop a little bit of the nerd talk and I'm gonna just get a little bit real here. It happens a couple times during the day, but I need to address the father in this movie. You bitch ass nigga. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you, do you even care about your wife? Do you care about your daughter? Like, I had to stop for a second and think, like, is there something that happened that made you hate your family? Only a man who hates his family, hates his wife, hates his daughter, doesn't care about them would make the type of decisions that you make. There's just common sense shit. I don't care. Like, okay, maybe he has some beef with his wife or whatever. This is way too much bitch made in this character for me to not speak about it during the review. You's a bitch, you's a hoe, you's a pussy, you was a weasel, or a wimp, you're a wussy. What other words can I think of?
Spineless jellyfish of epic proportions.
I hate everything that you did in this movie. And that's all I have to say about you. Turn off your brains for a little bit. This movie is going to cause you to suspend your disbelief multiple times. There's leaps in logic. There are things that don't make sense, characters that don't make sense. Entertaining, and I can't take that away from the movie. I had fun. Speak No Evil or Uncomfortable, the movie, was a solid watch. I'm gonna leave this one in the Daily Planet. Those are my thoughts on Speak No Evil, so tell me, did you see it this past weekend, and what do you prefer, the 2022 version or the 2024 version? And put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.